Here we go. Okay, so we have the basic graph and then we have the after, right? So we want to see where the 2 points are gonna go, right? So for the basic, I'm just gonna use the green one then, okay? I'll change the color here. Okay, this is the basic. You can see if you plug in 0 into x, you get 0. So that's why 0, 0 is on the graph. If you plug in 4 into the x, square root will be 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, be 2. So this one, if you remember the basic, one of the 6 basic graph, right? It's a curved line. Goes this way. Okay, so that's the basic. So we want to figure out where's the that graph, right? Where are the 2 points gonna go after you do transformation? So first thing, you change it to story form. Okay, step 1, change the story form. Right, so I'll let you guys do that now, right? Just like in the homework, turn it into story. And please raise your hand when you got your story form. Okay, so let's check what you got so far. Evan, what's your story form look like?
Y equals negative y plus 2 over 3.
Y equals
Sorry, not y equals. Negative y plus 2.
negative y plus 2, like this,
Yeah, and then over 3.
over 3, and then equals.
Yeah, equals square root x plus 2 over 1 over 2.
Okay, you got the hard part, but not the easy part. Okay, just small mistake, okay? The negative, it will not attach to the y, okay? It should go with the 3, so you should put it underneath. Okay, because if there's a negative in front of y, you need to factor the negative out, okay? So you move the minus 2 over, so it's plus 2, y plus 2, and then you divide the negative 3 down. So negative, it just go down with the 3. Okay, Evan?
Okay.
Yeah, so inside, right, you all factored out, okay, which is very good. Step 2, we'll write down the story, okay, RST. So please write out the story and then raise your hand. Okay, Jenny, can you tell us your story?
It reflects over the x-axis.
Reflect over x-axis. Very good. Go on.
The stretch is vertically expand by 3, horizontally compressed by 1/2, and then the translate is down by 2 units, left by 2 units.
Very good. Excellent. Okay, down 2, left 2. Okay, does anyone have question about the description here? Okay, so that's what we did in the homework, right? But over here, we're gonna extend this idea and then try to move the points. And we did something like that before, right? We have question 3 on the previous page, right? Question 3, we got the new points by applying the story. We're gonna do the same thing, okay? So step 3 is to get the points. So we'll draw a little table, right, of points. So before, right, this is the before 0, 0, 4, 2. Okay, we want to get the new ones. So what must be the points on the new ones, right? That's what we want to find. So first we need to figure out what should we do, right, to get the new ones. So it's pretty easy to figure out, right? We'll start with the x part. So you look at the x, if you see the story form, underneath you have a 1/2. That means all your x is going to multiply by 1/2. Okay, so what you can do on your table here, let me erase that. Okay, go to the table here, right? This is for the new table. I want to keep track of what to do, right? So all the x value needs to times 1/2, so I write 1/2 x. That means x value is going to times half. And then because it's moving to the left, okay, moving to the left, so all the x needs to subtract, right? Going to the left means it gets smaller. Left by 2, so I need to subtract 2. Okay, so if I write that out, then I won't forget what I need to do for all the x points. Okay, so what we need to do now is just take the original ones. For example, the first one is the 0, right, for the x. So 0 times 1/2 is 0. Subtract 2 will be -2. So our new table for the first point is -2. Okay, I'll use the red, okay? Right, so now we can go to the 4, right? The next point is 4. 4 times 1/2 and subtract 2, okay? Can you raise your hand once you get the answer for that one? For the next x. Okay, Nick, what's your answer?
0.
Yep, very good. Okay, so 4 times 1/2 is 2. And then 2 minus 2 will be 0. Right, so you use your story, right, to tell you either add or subtract. You use your story form to know what to multiply. Okay, so same thing with the y side now. The y side, the number underneath the y is -3. So I know I need to times it by -3. I don't want to forget, so I write it down. And then we are moving down, right? Down 2. So down 2 means you need to subtract. If it's up 2, then you need to add. Okay. So do the same thing. So this time you apply that to the y values, the 0 and the 2. Okay, so get both y values and you can raise your hand. So to get a new table, all you need is look at those yellow highlighted part. That's all you need, right? Even without a story, right? If you just look at the form, x plus 2 means left, right? Y plus 2 means down, so you know the direction as well, right? If they don't require you to describe, then you don't need to do step 2, right? You just go from step 1 to step 3, right? The table, from the form to the table directly. Okay, please raise your hand if you finish the new point. Okay, so Marcus, let us know your new points when you're finished.
It'd be 4
Which one?
for -2.
For the first one, -2.
Yeah, no, 4.
Next one is 4. How'd you
No,
get?
wouldn't -2 be 4? Oh wait, oh no.
Huh?
Oh, wait, no, never mind, I did it wrong.
Can you tell me what to do?
Wouldn't you plug it in to the -3y minus 2?
-3y minus 2, not -2.
Oh,
Do you know where we get the -3?
from the story form, the y plus
Under
2
the
over
y. Yeah, under the y, you see a -3, so you times it by -3.
Mhm.
Okay, so the original y is 0, right?
Yeah,
And you put it into that times -3 and then subtract 2. Okay, what do you get?
wouldn't it be 4?
You put 0 in, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, -2.
Yeah. Okay, now for the next one, you will plug in the 2.
-8.
Yes. Okay, so you go from the basic, right? This is the basic, you get the new ones. Okay, you change all the x and then you change all the y, it will be easier, all right? So those are our new points. Okay, -2, -2. So when you write the answer, right? Answer, you can write them in pairs. -2, -2, 0, -8. Okay, so that will be the answer for this question. But we also want to talk about the graphs here, right? We have -2, -2, so I'll use the red. -2, -2 is here. 0, -8, all the way down here. Now we want to connect the points, but which way would the curve, right? Because for the basic graph, it has a curve. So would it be curving this way? Right, there are many options. Or is it curving this way? Right, or is it curving this way? Right, which way would it curve? So if you want to figure that out, right, you can think about what we did before of the comic. Okay, we do one by one, make an estimation, right? So of course, you're going in the order that you draw the points, right? You start from, this is the first point, and then the next point, -2 is the first point. So your starting line should be, starting point should be -2, -2. You have two options only, right? Either this way or this way, right? There's no other way to curve. So we need to figure out which one of those two. So let's think about a comic now. Okay, we'll draw several of them. So we have the basic, and then reflection, and then stretch. Okay, so for the basic, it's like this one. And then we have reflection over x-axis. So if I reflect that over x-axis, Eric, what would it look like? Can you draw it on the screen?
Okay, once again.
Yep.
Do I draw like the ones over here?
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
Which way are we reflecting? Yeah, okay. Flip
Over X.
over x-axis, right? X-axis is the horizontal one. It goes this way. And then after that, we have vertical expand by 3, right? Horizontal compress by half. Vertically expand, so that means it gets taller. Right? You want to stretch, pull down, right? Pull up and down like a rubber band, right? And then horizontal compress, so you want to push in sideways, so it gets even more skinny. Okay, so by the look of it, that's the way it will curve. And then you do the translation. So your final graph, it should be bending this way. Okay, so that's how you complete the graph. If it's a curve, right? If it's straight line, it's pretty easy. Just connect with straight line. But if it's curve, you need to think about which way does it curve. Okay, any questions about this one? Okay, please raise your hand if you are ready to move on to question 5. Okay, Daniel, any questions?
No.
All right, remember to raise your hand. Okay, so question 5, we have a point for you to practice, okay? And as you can see, A, B, C, D, they all have different form, right? Different stories to it. However, this one has a little twist. Right? If you look at a question, compare 5 and 4, right? Number 4 is that 0, 0, 4, 2 is on y equal root x, right? So that one's the basic. This time it says -3, 5 is on y equal to f of x plus 3. Is that one the basic? Lily, what do you think? Is the y equal f of x plus 3, is that basic?
No.
No, right? Which one is the basic? If it's a basic, it should look like what?
Y equals f of x.
Yes, okay. So this one, they tell you something that's after instead, right? So that's the tricky part. So the one that I give you, right? The point that I give you, this is the after. So instead, your basic is your question 8. Right, question 8. So you need to sort of think backwards now. Okay, so negative 3, 5 is on the after. So question A is asking what must be the point on the basic. You want to rewind, okay? It's like a video playing, right? So you want to go backwards, rewind your video. So someone is moving, walking forward, right? Rewind. So someone walking backwards, right? So where was the point? Okay, so think about that. And then after you figure out where the point is for question A, then you start from basic to figure out question B, question C, question D. Okay, because when you do transformation, you must start with the basic, right? Original point. And then transform from there. Okay, so that's why question A, you need to figure that one out first to get your starting point. Okay, so let's write it out, right? So you have y equals to f of x plus 3. This one's the after. Right? For the after, you have a point as negative 3, 5. So where is the basic point? That's what we're looking for. I think we should use the green, right? Because I use the green for the basic. Okay, so I'll let you think about it. Okay, raise your hand if you got a point that you think it should be the basic. So basically just think about rewinding the video. If you're moving up, right, then rewind will have to go down, right? If you're moving to the right, rewind it will be going to the left. Okay, you have to do opposite. Is there anyone still feel confused what to do? Let me know. I can give you some hint. Okay, Sophie, if I'm going forward, right, I'm going from basic to after, what's the story?
You transform left by 3 units.
Yes, very good. Okay, so if we're going from basic to after, it's left 3, right? X plus 3 means left 3. And then you will end up at negative 3, 5. So you want to go backwards, right? Rewind. So Caleb, what's the opposite of going back here?
I'm not so sure. I haven't done it yet because I was hoping that you can go over it.
Yeah, I'm going over it. So do you get why we have left 3 here?
Yeah,
So
because
what's
it's
the
x
rewind?
plus 3.
Yeah, x plus 3 means moving, translate to the left 3. So what's the opposite of that?
Minusing 3.
So what's the story for it?
Oh, go right by 3.
Yeah, okay. So if you think about yourself walking to the left 3 steps, and I ask you to go the opposite way, right? Rewind yourself. Then you will have to go back to right 3, right? Go back to your original place. Understand, Caleb?
Okay.
Okay, because now we want to figure out where's the point, where was the point before you move left 3. -3, 5 is after you move left 3. So how do we get the new points now? Okay, Caleb, still you, okay? Where is the original point?
Oh, could you say that again?
What's the answer for this one now? Where's the basic point?
0, 5.
0, 5, very good. You got it. Okay, so if you move left 3, it will become -3, 5. If you move right 3, it will become 0, 5. Okay, left and right only affect the x value. Okay, moving to the right, you need to add. Moving to the left, you need to subtract. Okay. Any questions?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Okay, what about Evan, Joseph, Marcus, and Susan? Do you guys get it? How we get the answer here? Raise your hand if you understand. Okay, so this 0, 5 is your starting point now. Okay, because all the question, right? If you want to do transformation, you need to start with the basic point, right? The one that doesn't have RST. Okay, so once you have the basic point, you can use that point to transform, okay, for question B, C, and D. So starting from B, C, and D, right, it's just like question 4, right? Because now you know the basic point. So you can follow the steps, okay, like we did in exercise 4. Find a story form. And then if you need, you can write a story, okay, but it's not necessary, right? You can go straight to the table, right? Find a new point. Right, so I'll let you do B and C first, okay? B and C looks easier, maybe, right? C is a little bit trickier, right? You can see the letters, the numbers, it flipped, okay? So please do B and C first. Then you can raise your hand once you got the new point, okay? So you start with from 0, 5, okay? And then you want to get your final point. I think we'll go over one at a time, okay? We'll all focus on B first. Make sure everyone gets B right. So if you finish B, you can raise your hand.
Can you zoom out so I can see question A, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, by now you should all have the story form for B, right? Shouldn't take that long, right? This one doesn't have so many things. So let's check the story form, okay? If you got the points already, please raise your hand. Okay, Angela, what's your story form?
Reflect over the X and Y axis.
Just the form,
Sorry, the points.
the form. Not the, not the
Y
description.
over -1.
Y
Over -1
over -1.
equals oh sorry -1.
Y
Like,
minus 1.
yeah
Yeah, okay.
equals, negative X.
F, don't forget F,
Yeah, negative X.
negative X, yeah. Okay, that's your form, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay. All right, so that's you can also put a negative at the bottom, okay? It's the same, doesn't matter. So can you tell me, have you got the final points, Angela?
Not yet. I don't know how to do it.
So think about how to do it by looking at question 4, right? Exercise 4. Once you got the form, the points, you just need to multiply with the number at the bottom, and then you think about the direction, right? Up, down, left, right. Then you do either add or subtract to the point. Okay, we'll talk about what operation need to do, right, to get the new points first. So if original is x, y, let's start with the x, okay? What should we do to the x value to get the new x? Evan? How do we get the
I'm not quite sure.
Okay, you look at the question 4, okay? You try to answer me there. If you look at the story form, right? Question 4,
Yeah.
okay? How do we get the new x value?
You just applied what was there for the X on the X side of it.
Yeah, can you be more specific? How do we calculate the new x value?
You mean for number 4?
Yeah, number 4.
Oh, you have the original one, then you subtracted 2.
Just subtract 2, that's all.
Oh, like you half the original value and then you subtract 2.
Yeah, so you need to times it by half, right?
Yeah,
Multiply by half and then subtract 2. So how do you know it's times it by half?
because of the 1/2 on
Yeah,
the bottom.
look at the bottom number, right? That's the number you multiply. Okay, so you multiply by the bottom number, and then you think about whether to add or subtract if you're moving it. Okay, so same thing here. What's the bottom number?
-1.
So you need to do what?
Multiply by -1.
Yeah, so x will become negative x, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Is there any moving left or right?
no.
Okay, so that's all we do for the x. Can you also tell me now for the y? What do we?
-y -1. Like +1.
Yeah, okay, we need to times it by -1, so negative y, and then why is it +1?
Because it moves right 1. Sorry, up.
Yes, okay, going up by 1, so you +1. You got it. Okay. So now you do the same thing to the numbers. If you know how to do it with the variables, right? You do the same thing to the numbers. Okay, please raise your hand if you got the final point. Okay, you need to do both, know how to get both ways, right? How to apply it to the variables, how to apply it to the numbers, right? Because sometimes they will give you a letter, okay? They say, instead of giving you a number, they say, okay, we have a point at A, B. Where is the new point? So your new point will be having letters inside, okay? So that's why we break it down like that, not just numbers. All right, Chris, where's your final number?
0, -4.
0, -4.
Wait, for which one?
Yeah,
B?
for B.
Okay.
It's still at B. 0, -4. Philip, how about you?
0, -4.
Okay. Is there anyone getting different answer? Jenny, how about you?
I got 0, -4 as well.
Yep. Okay, 0, -4. Justin and Marcus, do you have any questions? How to get 0, -4?
No.
Okay. And Justin, how about you?
No.
Okay. All right, so that's how you get the answer, okay? Apply. That's why I said the story form is super important, right? Because it affects everything that you do afterwards. Okay, next one, same thing. Please change it to story form. And once you got a story form, raise your hand. For this one, be careful, right? The inside the brackets, the order, right? I hope you have already noticed. Order is wrong, right? Also the X and Y is on different side, okay? So that also means something. Okay, please raise your hand if you get a story form, okay? We need to make sure the story form is right before you try the point. Okay, let's have Claire. Okay, Claire, can you tell us your story form?
It's x over -1
Mm-hmm.
equals to function of y over -1 plus 2.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay. The X side is good. Okay, not the Y side. Y side, you need to think about, let's see, in the homework, I think. Yeah. In the homework, we did something like that. Kind of like 14. Right? Because inside is flipped, right? Look at what we did. First, you need to flip it. 4 minus X, you write it as negative X plus 4. And then factor the negative out. And then you move it down, okay? So your final look is always one fraction. You cannot separate it, okay? So let you try again and let me know your new answer, all right? You can do step by step, then you get it right.
Is it y over y minus 2 over -1?
Yeah, okay, much better. Okay, y minus 2 over -1. Okay, so if we show step by step for the inside part, it'll be f of -y plus 2, right? You flip it over, factor the negative out, and then you move the negative down. Okay, so that's how you would do this one. Okay, so now we have our story form. Let's get a point. Okay, let's see if any of you get the right final point. Lily, what's your final location?
I got 0 and -3.
-3, 0, -3. Okay. Let's have Sophie. What's your final point?
I also got 0, -3.
0, -3. Okay. Let's write that down again. Philip, where's yours? Oh, I think Philip not here. Nick, what's your final point?
0, -3.
Oh, as well? Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anyone didn't get 0, -3?
Jason,
Yeah, Daniel?
I got -5, 2.
-5, 2. Okay. Anyone else also got -5, 2?
I also have -5 too.
-5, 2. Okay, so it looks like it's between these two, right? Debating. Anyone else got something different from these two? Okay, so let's go over, okay, which one is correct. If you look at the form here, right, our story form here, because X and Y is swapped, right, compare with the basic in question 8, right? normally we should have y equal to f of x, right? Inside the bracket, it should be x, f of the x, but then x and y swap around. So that means there's an inverse, okay? So there's an inverse, that means the reflection is over y equal x, okay? For this question. And then everything else is building on applying to the inverse point. So how do we get a new point if the function is inverse? Nick? How do we get a new point if it's inverse?
Like you have to like inverse function.
Yeah, if it's inverse function, what will happen to the points? If I need
So like swap x, y.
yeah, the x and y need to flip around, right? So if used to be x, y, it will become what?
Y x.
Yeah, used to be x, it will become y, used to be y, it will become x, okay? So you will have y comma x. That means your 0, 5 will become 5, 0. So you need to do that first because everything else is applying to the inverse point. All right? And then after that, now you look at the x. Under the x, you have a -1. Right? And then under the y, you have -1 as well. So both of them need to times -1. Okay? So your new x is 5, right? So you need to times your new x with that. Okay? Your 0 times -1 is still 0. And then this one will be -y and -x. Okay? So you're applying to your inverse point. And then finally, you need to move up to, right? The y minus 2 means you move up to you apply to the new y point, okay? And the one that's after you inverse. So it will be -5 and then goes up to, okay, we don't need the brackets anymore. So it will be -5 too, okay? So for the variable, if it's a variable, okay, maybe I shouldn't use x and y, it's confusing, okay? We'll do it this way, use AB, okay? They give you letters, right? If it's AB, it will be -a, -b. Sorry, you need to flip it around, right? The new x will be b, the new y will be a, and then you get -b, -a, and then -b stay the same, -a go up to. Okay, with the inverse, you got to flip it first. That's the key, right? So please write this down. Okay, can you raise your hand if you finish this question C? So answer should be at -5, 2. Anyone has questions about this one? How to deal with inverse? So in your homework, you will get something like giving you a AB as your basic, okay? So you also need to know how to use variables, like letters, okay, to represent the point. Okay, please raise your hand if you finish this one. So let's take a break first, all right? So after the break, you question D, right? So I'll see you guys at 11:15, and if you need to resubmit your homework, okay, you can do that as well. Okay. See you guys soon.